Let's take a moment to talk about learning cycles. Learning cycles provide a framework for your lesson in your face-to-face classroom and are also very beneficial when designing learning for your virtual students. Here's a typical learning cycle that you may see in a classroom. How could we organize this in a digital lesson format? First of all, why would we need to do that? The purpose or benefits of using a learning cycle is to create an organized structure and process for learning content and skills. It guides the students through the learning process and establishes learning routines that improve learning outcomes. So consider your learning cycle in your physical classroom. What would each part look like in a virtual learning environment? There are lots of different learning cycles to choose from. Here are a few frequently used models. You may use these in your classroom, or may have another that you use. They all have some elements that are in common as a part of a good lesson design, but it doesn't really matter which one that you use as long as you've got some sort of cycle and routine that you take your students through as they're learning new content and skills. Catlin Tucker, who is a blended learning specialist, has some great resources to walk you through a 5E model for a digital environment. She has videos posted in YouTube. I will put these in the module for you to access. But what she does is she goes through each of the stages of the 5E model and talks about how you can structure that in a digital format using digital tools. Here's an example I created of a 5E model using in Schoology, using a folder for my lesson, and then organizing my content, each of the components of my 5E model for my lesson. Now, some things that I have added to this to help with the flow of the lesson is I've added numbering to help just visually help guide the students from beginning through the end. And I've also labeled each piece with the 5E components. And so just that structure alone will help the students know I'm going to start here and I'm going to work through this content and I'm going to end up here.